Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fertility Hot Topics, the platform that discusses all things fertility. Our goal is to provide you with information and educate you on those uncomfortable issues that are never openly addressed. Disclosure: I'm not a medical professional. I only act in an advisory capacity. If you need expert medical advice, get in touch with your physician. I can be reached via email at fertilityhottopics@gmail.com. fertilityhottopics@gmail.com. This is not a sponsored platform. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to do something special. We're going to start off with the men. Yeah guys, I got you. Alright, so this is open to all men and women to listen to. We're going to talk about male fertility. We're going to zone in on the semen analysis, okay? And we're going to address 5 different things. Number 1, what is a semen analysis? Number 2, who needs to get the semen analysis? Number 3, why do you need to know the status of your fertility as a man? Number 4, how and where can you get the semen analysis? And lastly, number 5, who will help you interpret the results of the semen analysis, right? And then I will go on to the conclusion. We'll talk about a few things then. But anyway, so for now, let's dive right into it. So what is a semen analysis? So a semen analysis is basically a test that is done in a fertility lab, okay? It's conducted normally by an embryologist, okay? Now, what basically happens is you're going to provide a sample of your semen to them, okay? And the way you're going to provide this is you're going to collect it in a collection cup, okay? You've probably seen, or maybe some of you are familiar with the cups that they use to examine urine, the urine cups. It's not a big cup, it's a small cup. Make sure that the cup is sealed, it hasn't been opened, and it has to be sterile, okay? So you'll provide a sample of your sperm into that cup, and what will happen is it will be tested. So they test it for a variety of parameters. They look at what your sperm count is. They'll look at the sperm morphology, which is the shape of the sperm. They'll look at the color of the sperm, and so many other parameters, which after the results are out, they'll explain to you in detail, okay? Now, moving on to the second thing. Who needs to get a semen analysis? In all honesty, I would say as long as you are male and you're sexually active, or you would need to get a semen analysis, okay? Now, when you get your semen analysis as a guy, it's just so you can know the status of your fertility. Okay. Now, when you know the status of your fertility as a man, you know how to address certain issues. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I've seen guys who look like NBA basketball players. I've seen guys who look like football players. And I've seen guys who look like neither of the two. Okay. And you never know what your status is. Okay. So I've seen really fit, healthy, buff guys with no sperm activity, 0 sperm. Okay. So as fit as you might think you are, or we all think we're Hercules, it is important to get a semen analysis and to know where you stand as a man, okay? And if you do need help, it's important to also know that there's help out there. There are solutions to these issues and problems. Because as guys, I know we don't go out and have a beer and start talking about how low our sperm count is or how we've got erectile dysfunction or problems like that. We don't. Because we so we've just kind of like so locked up, really, and we so conscious about what our friends will think, or rather our male counterparts will think of us if we bring up such issues or topics. And then to the women, what I would advise you and say is, if your partner is in this situation, you have to, I know it's frustrating, but you have to play the supportive role. Okay. Now, talking down on your partner won't get you anywhere. But sitting down and encouraging each other, trying to get the appropriate help, is the way forward. We'll delve into this later on as we move. But it is important for you to know the status of your fertility as a man. Now, we move on to number 3. Why do you need to know the status of your fertility? I guess we've just touched on to that. Number 4 is where and how can you get a semen analysis? Now, in order for you to get a semen analysis, you'll first need to see your physician, talk to him about it, let him know why you want to get your semen analysis. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a problem. You just want to know the status of your fertility as a man, right? So your physician, your general physician, will give you a referral. That referral will be for you to see an infertility specialist. Okay. Now, when you go to the infertility specialist office, you've got two options. When your results come out, you can follow up with your general physician, the one who gave you that referral to see the infertility specialist, or you can have your results reported or interpreted to you by the fertility specialist who you've been sent to. Okay, so that's important. And all you need to do really is pick up the phone, call the infertility clinic, and you can find out which infertility clinics are in your area by just doing a quick Google search. And I'm sure there's a ton of them in your area. And set up an appointment, okay? Now, when you set up the appointment, take really careful note of this. There are a couple of things you want to ask the clinic before you go in, okay? And number one is, do they accept your insurance? If they don't accept your insurance, you'll be paying out of pocket. How much are they charging for it? Okay. I'm in Maryland, USA, and with the area I'm in, they charge about $300 out of pocket for semen analysis. Now, that may vary from clinic to clinic. So just be sure before you set up an appointment that you are clear on that. Number two, what protocol do you need to follow prior to getting the semen analysis? Okay, that's an important one as well. There is certain protocol that you need to follow prior to getting the semen analysis. From the top of my head, one of the things is you have to be abstinent from anywhere from 2 to 7 days. So no sexual intercourse for anywhere from 2 to 7 days. And number two is you have to, if you're not collecting at the site, okay, you have to make sure that after collection, you drop off the specimen at the fertility clinic not more than an hour after you've collected. Now, again, these protocols may differ from clinic to clinic, but the reason they have these protocols really is so that they can get the most accurate result from the analysis that they do. So it's important for you to follow these protocols and make sure you understand them, okay? And then the third thing you may want to ask the clinic is, when it comes to collecting, we all come from different backgrounds, okay? So some religions do not allow their members to masturbate. Normally, you'd collect into the semen specimen cup by masturbating, okay? But if that's a problem, there are the options. You can purchase what is referred to as the Male-Factor condom, okay? The Male-FactorPak condom can be found on Amazon, and I'll try and put a link on the comment section below. You can find that link to that condom. Now, it's a special condom. Most of the condoms out there are designed to kill the sperm. Okay, so they're contraceptives, right? But this one is not going to kill your sperm. So you have sex the normal way you'd have sex, and then what happens is after you've ejaculated into the condom, you tie the end and you place it in the sterile cup. You still need to use the sterile cup, okay? You place it in the sterile cup, you close it, and then you deliver it to the clinic that is doing the semen analysis, okay? So those are important things that you need to get addressed before you get your semen analysis done, okay? And when we move on to the last thing about interpretation of results, who's going to help you understand what that report really means for all the parameters they would have tested on the semen analysis, I would say go ahead and get that interpretation from your infertility specialist. Now, the infertility specialist probably has more in-depth knowledge than your general practitioner or your general physician, not to take anything away from them, but your fertility or infertility specialist is specialized in that area. So all they do is infertility, right? So when you get your results interpreted by them, if there are any issues, they will have the best solutions for you to take after the results are out. So if you've got a low sperm count, they'll be able to give you the best advice on what you need to do next. Okay? And then the next thing you need to do is, after you've gone through that stage, I would advise you, if you've got the means, to preserve your fertility. Now, what do I mean by preserve your fertility? You've heard about women being encouraged to preserve their fertility by freezing their eggs, right? With men, we can do the same thing too. And this is not widely talked about or discussed, but what it basically does is, in the event that something may happen in your future, let's just suppose, and knock on wood, this doesn't happen to you. But in the unfortunate case that you may get cancer, in your future years, you would have preserved your fertility, especially if you do it in your prime. Okay? Now, again, I'll give you a rough idea. It's about $500 to $600 to freeze your sperm. And then you're looking at maybe another $300 a year to keep it frozen. Okay? Now, you can freeze it and keep it for a prolonged period of time. So there's no time limit to how long you can keep it for, right? But what you've just done is you've preserved your fertility in your prime. And these are for extreme cases, obviously, but who knows what the future holds. And if you can afford it, I think it's a worthwhile investment. Okay, for you and also for preserving your future generation. Okay, so that's one of the things that I think should be talked about more, but it's up for discussion, obviously, and we'll talk about that on another episode, hopefully when I get some input from the guys. And in conclusion, I think that men's general attitudes should change. When we look at fertility, we don't only look at women. It's a two-way street. It takes a man and a woman to produce a baby. So if you are single, it's nice to know the status of your fertility as a man. If you are in a relationship, it's nice to know the status of your fertility in that relationship, and you can work with your partner towards fixing anything that needs to be fixed. Okay, so with men, we just need to change our general attitudes, and I'm seeing a lot of that. Kudos to you guys. And let's spread the word about the importance of knowing your fertility status, okay? And also, let's spread the word that help is available if needed. You don't have to wrap yourself and keep yourself in a cave. If you're experiencing these problems, talk about it and get help. There's a lot of help out there, and I'm going to do my best to be a voice, to talk to you all, and, keep these conversations going. There's so much out there, and there are so many people out there that just have never heard this message before. But this is episode 1, so you can imagine as we move on, there's so much more to learn. And then moving from there, just, have an open conversation with your partner if you need to. A lot of people will talk about alpha men, just sucking it up and talking to a tree. And, if you've got issues, don't talk to them about your issues to your partner, because the next thing is your partner will be someone else, but that's not the case. You can be an alpha man, but if you're going through issues that involve infertility, you're doing yourself a disservice by trying to talk to the tree, because that tree is not going to give you any answers. So, let's talk about these things more openly, and let's get these conversations started. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining me for episode 1. And if you've got any questions, if you listen to the intro, my phone number is there. You can hit me up on WhatsApp. I only take messages only on WhatsApp, so no calls, just messages, and I'll do my best to get back to all of you. So like, subscribe, and share. We want to grow this channel, and we want to keep this going. We want to spread this information that's helpful. This is not a sponsored platform, so it's free from wanting to push anything for anyone. It's just solely to help people out there and get the word out there. So our next episode, is going to be episode number 2. And we're going to talk about genetic carrier screening. This is a very important one. Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, or whether you're just thinking of settling down, building a family, this is an important one. If you're from where I'm from Southern Africa, Zimbabwe. Now, our parents always emphasize the importance of knowing where your partner is coming from. Like, they want to know about the family, your partner's family, right? And there are certain reasons they do this. Now, we don't know, a lot behind what our parents used to tell us because they were from a different generation. We tell you something, you listen, don't ask questions, right? But in today's world, we are different generation and we try and get an understanding. We're trying to teach our kids that it's okay to ask questions so that you can understand why we are telling you to do this. But anyway, we'll talk more about genetic carrier screening. It will be an interesting one. And I think one of the most important out of all the series we're going to work on. So we'll talk to you later, and thank you for joining me once again. We'll see you on the episode 2, and we'll try and keep these episodes coming to you as much as we can weekly. But if weekly seems to be too much of, if it seems to be too much, we'll push it to 2 weeks, but not more than 2 weeks apart. But we'll keep these episodes coming. Please send us comments in the comment section, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Let's grow this, and let's keep this channel moving. Take care, and God bless you all. Goodbye. We appreciate you spending time with us. Join us on our next episode. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Fertility is now global, and technology keeps making strides. Let's keep this information moving. Till next time, take care.